Okay, so I finally watched the remake of Dirty Dancing. Don't judge me. Uh, and that was one of the biggest shit shows I've ever seen of a remake in my life. Like, I'm not understanding for people who were like diehard fans of the movie. I was kind of a youngster when it came out. I was about 5, 6, but I watched it. Matter of fact, I have it on DVD, the original, and it was like ABC decided to go against Fox and NBC and try this live musical thing. And if they were gonna do that, just saying, as an actor, why didn't you just select one? I mean, it's plenty of them that are not being performed anymore. Why fuck up a classic? Just saying. Let's just start with the overall plot of the movie. The overall plot of the movie, for those of us who do not know, is basically it's about a young lady who basically is becoming a woman, and her family go up to this resort in the New England area, and she meets one of the staff dancers who's kind of a jack of all trades, a hustler, if you will, and they basically are from different worlds, and they fall in love through to a whole bunch of misconceptions and all this other stuff. So, and then the ending, as most of us know, they end up together for at least the ending portion. He stands up, she stands up for him, he stands up for her, and, they end up united in the end with her father accepting them, yada, yada, yada. So, in this particular version of the movie, they decided to add some subplots for the movie, I guess because of the stars they were getting and whatnot. Let's just talk about the first pinnacle thing of the show. The movie is called Dirty Dancing, so of course dancing is an intricate part of it. So let's just talk about the lack of chemistry there was between the two leads of the movie. Let's just talk about that. The dancing was not great. There was no chemistry at all between, I believe his name is Colt Pradas, who was a dancer in the Pink video, and Abigail Breslin, who was not convincing at all as Baby. I mean, it's like there's no emotion. There's nothing. Their dancing is not nearly as good. They hardly dance together really in the movie at all. And let's talk about some of the casting, since we're talking about casting. A lot of I felt what the actors had to work with was all right, but it was horrible. I mean, the lady who is basically seducing the young male staff and whatnot is played by Katie Siegel from Married with Children, Sons of Anarchy, and they build this storyline with her and Johnny, and it's a lot of subplots that I felt that weren't really needed. There's that. The parents have a troubled marriage. There's now a racial dynamic in it. It was just a lot of unnecessary BS to a story that was already well established and well known. And if you were going to do something like that, I felt that maybe you should have, kind of kept it as true to form as possible. And maybe that's why there wasn't a whole lot of promotional work done, because they want to see if it would, hold up. And the other thing that pissed me off was all this singing that was involved. Like, there was no singing in Dirty Dancing. They danced to the music and all that, and that's what it was. But there was just all this singing, and I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? And spoiler alert, so if you watch this video and intend on watching this remake, don't watch my video, because I'm going to tell you how the motherfucker ends. Basically, the movie starts off with Baby going to a musical. What we find out is the musical is based on her book, and it's choreographed by Johnny. And basically, they look at each other with this longing. We find out that baby has since gotten married and has. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all just fucked up the ending for most of the people that love this movie. It was like, it was just a lot, like I said, a lot of unnecessary subplots. The acting really wasn't great. I felt they wasted a lot of people. I felt like Nicole Scherzinger was wasted. I felt that the Need Colt Paradis was kind of wasted in his role. I felt that they were trying to make him live up as much to Patrick Swayze as he could. And, of course, no one can live up to the late, great Patrick Swayze because he was, he was a triple threat. So it's like, really? I won't say that he was bad. I will just say that basically what they gave him to work with wasn't great at all. Like, I believe you should have left the ending ambiguous. I believe you should have focused on the dancing. And I believe you should have had people that had chemistry. I also believe you should have cut out some subplot bullshit. There was no need for it. Just wasn't. That's my critique. Some people may differ, but from what I've been reading, and this was before I even watched it, on Facebook and Twitter and everything else, a whole bunch of people didn't like it. Just to be honest, a whole bunch of people didn't like it. They can add my name to that list because I didn't like it either. I thought it was just a waste of a lot of talent. It was a waste of a lot of talent. And for the people who actually watched it for 3 hours, I kind of watched it and started skimming too. I was like, when are we going to have good parts in this movie? Like, when is this going to pick up? You know, and it was just, they changed the whole story around. Another element, Robbie was this lecherous waiter who tried to force himself on Lisa. And I was like, that didn't happen in the original. It was like the mother threatened the father with a divorce. First of all, this 1963, that's not finna happen at all. That's not realistic in the storytelling. It was like they wanted to modernize basically the things that are going on today and put those in the story. But you shouldn't have did that with 30 Dancing. I think you should have found another musical to do. It was the same preference when I know I was reading a review and they were like, it's like trying to remake Rocky Horror Picture Show, which in itself is like, the first one is already, confusing and whatchamacallit as far as great in its essence. So to remake it is like, really? So, I just felt kind of bummed that, they had all this great potential and they really didn't do anything with it. It was like I remember when I first read that they were going to do it and I was like, I don't know about that. I was hoping I was going to be wrong, but unfortunately I was right. Abigail Branson, I can't say this enough, was completely miscast. Completely miscast. I felt that if they were going to do that, they should have... there are a whole bunch of actresses that go through my mind that possibly could have played. Juliana Huff, any one of the girls from Dancing with the Stars. I mean, any people. I mean, it's just a lot of choices a lot of things that could have been done better. And, I understand me, myself as an actor, when you look at things and you think, well, I'm proud of the work we did. I'm proud we got through it. And I think it's just amazing, blah, blah, blah. That's great that you feel that way. However, as a fan of the movie, I was supremely disappointed. And, of course, normally I wouldn't make 10-minute videos about one movie, but this movie was crap. Like, really? I had to speak on it. I had to. They fucking part of the childhood. I'm a baby of the 80s. I was like, wow. So, if you haven't seen it, I really wouldn't waste the time, 2.5 hours or so. It is without commercials to see it. I wouldn't buy it on DVD because you'll be disappointed. If you want to stream it when it becomes available or whatever, if you got Hulu or whatever it is. I just think that certain things are, you know, you can't mess with perfection in certain instances. It's hard. So, yeah, I felt the movie was perfect, and I'm really bummed about it.